Alrighty guys, so I actually managed to get that the rest of that valve stem out today. I think I've got away with it. I'm not 100% sure. What I did, this is probably not really something you should do, but I did. I'll just turn that out. Sorry about the shakiness there. But what I did is I put the flappy wheel on the grinder, and the valve was just sticking up above it. It must have been just a bit more burrowed over than I thought it did, because I actually went around with the die grinder around the edge when I tried to drive it out originally. And as you can see, like I've broken all the top of it off trying to drive it through initially, and I reckon there was just a piece of that catching. So what I did is where it was sticking just proud, I went along with the flappy wheel disc grinder, and I just gently took a little bit off the top of that. It's probably only just like the very top edge of the guide, which I don't think really at the end of the day is going to matter too much, because the guys machine them down and cut them down anyway to put double valve springs and all that sort of stuff in them. So I don't think it's going to matter, like a mil or so off the top of that, just to try and get a valve out and save this head. I don't think that's going to matter a hell of a lot. I'm hoping. So I managed to get that valve out, and I poked one of the other exhaust valves in there, and it doesn't feel too bad. It seems to go through there alright, so that's good. I might have saved it. I actually thought I was going to mongrel it trying to get it out, but I just thought about it overnight, and I thought if I just go over that lightly with the flappy wheel grinder and just take a little bit off that and try and get it so that's clean, and then it's going to drive down in there without digging any great holes. So hopefully I'll get away with that. I don't know, but we might be lucky. So I might better use this head. At least I can give it to my mate, and he can go through it and check it and prep it and see if it is usable. So I'll get this last valve out now and see what happens there. Hopefully I can get this last one out, and then I might go and get a little wire wheel that I can put in my die grinder or something, and I'll clean up all the shit in the ports and have a decent look at the seats, especially those ones that had a lot of crap and that around them, and the one that's done all the damage to this, and just see how bad that seat is, because that valve is junk, like you can see. Get it up nice and close to the camera. But you can see how badly pitted and worn away and eaten away that is. Like for a motor that was standard, still totally standard bearing, standard bore, almost no lip in the bore. And as I said, I would have used this block if the boards didn't need board because of rust. I would have used that block, but I'm happy to use that 40 thou 1 over with my good crank, because that one there I reckon needs machined, that crank. Like it's quite savable, like I think it's only 10 over, but yeah, like it's easy to put a crank in there that doesn't need ground, and just put some fresh bearings in it, and I'll get some fresh rings for the pistons to go back on them, and we'll clean everything up. I've already basically balanced rods. I've just got a little final clean up on them and tidy up, and just double rechecked all the balances and all that sort of stuff. And then once I find out what heads I'm going to use, we'll have a decent look, and I'll start porting some. I won't do it today, because I want to get back into this body work, but I just wanted to strip this head last night and just see how I go. So it's something I can do when it's late, pull stuff apart like this. But like, as you can see in these ports, try and keep that light on there so you can sort of see in there. Like, see how there's a lot of big lip on this casting? Like, you can take a lot of that back and increase some flow. Like, you don't have to take it back a long way to improve flow. And there's like some big casting ridges in some of these ports, man. Like, it's kind of hard to see. Like, there's some big casting marks in some of them that are just, all it's going to do is slow down air. like it doesn't need to be pretty, but like even in this one here, like you can see there's like a ridge there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's quite a prominent ridge, that second one in, below the seat. But that's all that's doing is slowing down airflow. Like if you can smooth that out, get rid of that, you know, like that's extra air that can run out of that exhaust port. You know, because all of a sudden the air's going to go bang, and then it's all of a sudden it's bouncing around there. But if it can just flow straight out, you know, you're gaining horsepower. And it doesn't take much. Like you don't have to go crazy and make the ports massive and all that sort of bullshit. Any little piece will help, especially an old engine like this. You know, really like a decent porting job is gonna gain easy 20 or 30 horsepower. And then if you combine other things like, you know, extractors and a bit of, you know, like even a decent carburetor on top of the 2-barrel with a, you know, like a 500 CFM carb or something like that, you know, with a wee bit of work, you're going to gain, like a combination of everything will gain horsepower. So all of a sudden their 240 or 230 horsepower engine, whatever it is knocking on the back door 300. Which is going to make it quite lively, because I was actually watching or following a Facebook thread through one of the threading poly pages, and a guy had his 2-barrel intake manifold. He actually had it bored out to match a 500 CFM Holly, like a 2-barrel, putting the adapter on it, and he said, like initially it's off the straight up, you know, it didn't really notice a lot of difference, but that mid-range power, you know, like he said, what a difference. He said it was night and day. So imagine if he'd gone through his heads and cleaned up all the ports and got all these casting marks, but all of a sudden, you know, in a set of extractors, because he's still running stock manifolds, so I think he's going to put exact extractors and everything on it, or headers, you know, it'll really wake the old girls up. So you know, like it's cheap horsepower if you can do it yourself. You don't have to go crazy, you just got to clean those casting markings up. So I want to get this head apart anyway, and we'll have a look. If this head's no good, I'll use it for practice to for porting and just figure out where I need to go and what I need to do. You know, I might even buy some Daikin, and once I've got everything cleaned up, I'll paint it inside the ports, and then I'll go around and we'll find out where all the high spots are, and we'll blend it all in. And then when I'm sort of getting close to blend all those on, then we'll take a little bit off around the whole lot. I'll repaint them and take a little bit off around the whole lot and just enlarge those ports a little. And see if we can get a few more CFM through them for smear speed. Alrighty guys, cheers. Alrighty, another small update. So I did manage to get that other valve out. Knocked out quite easy. So yeah, at least now I can we can check this head over and see if it is usable. And I'll have a go at stripping the other one down tonight. I won't do it now because there's other things I want to try and do. First thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to have a good look around this car and just write a little list of all the things that I still need to work on. Like what, you know, like the door frame, I've still got to fix that. I've got to fix the structure of that boot lid where it's split underneath. All those little things, you know, repair some of these, you know, like repair some of this stuff, you know, the holes in this, where it's, you know, stupid things have happened. And just go back around all the doors and the guards and just write I might even mark some of the dents and stuff I can feel. So when I'm going through everything and knocking all the last of the stuff out, I've got it all written down, you know, like have a go at working this one out, that dent out, and tidy these up, and just go over everything and just write down all the things I want to have another go at, like, you know, this. You know, obviously clean all the paint off that. You know, pull the dint out of this, you know, just all those sorts of things, you know, try and maybe pull the dints out of this, you know, fix the front of that door a little bit more, straighten this body line out and that door, how it's got that big hoop in it before it's been damaged, get in there and fix that, you know, just final clean up on here, you know, all these sorts of things. I write myself a bit of a list so I don't, when I'm going through, I don't forget something and then get to bodywork and think, oh shit, you know, or I'm just about ready to paint and then realise there's a bloody something in there I haven't fixed or missed. So that's my sort of plan for the next probably hour or so. I was going to just go around everything, go all around the panels, and mark them all, work out what bits I got to fix, and just figure out any little stupid things that I need to do so I don't forget anything. You know, like have another go at the front of this guard, see if there's anything else in there that I need to repair. Same with this one, you know, like all these little things that need repair, you know, see if I can maybe pull that out. You know, with the trim holes up in that. I may even fill the aerial hole on the guard. You know, like I'm not, you know, like I probably won't put a radio on it. Like I hardly even listen to the radio nowadays. Yeah, I'm either listening to like MP3 through the phone, through Bluetooth, or if there is a radio station I listen to, like I just stream it 9 times out of 10, because you know, like I can listen to any radio station I want through streaming. Like there's some good rock and heavy metal stations that stream, whereas a lot of the time you listen to the radio stations, the local ones, and it's the same teeny bop of music that played 50 times a day. You know, and work something out for this. I actually, I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but I'm going to try and make my own hood ornament because I haven't got one. So I'm going to make something up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make yet. I don't know if anybody got any suggestions, something that I can make up to put in there. Just out of some of the scrap that I've got here, bits of rods and bolts, and I'll make something up, something cool and crazy up for that. Just something different. You know, lots of those little things. And again, I'll even make lists for the stuff I've got to do to the motor, but I'll work out a list for the body for that first. You know, the boot floor, fix that piece below there that I found the other day that I sort of hadn't really realised was there. It's just it's a bit rotten in there, obviously where the water's been sitting against the back edge. It's no biggie. I've actually got most of that section on that other piece that I can graft into there if I need. You know, all those sorts of things, and then start getting everything fitting properly. You know, I'm not sure if there's anything that needs repair on this radiator support panel, or modified, or you know, cleaned up. I'm sure there's stuff on here. I'm sure there's holes in here that don't need to be here that have been re-drilled. You know, I could probably go around and spot some of them up and clean them up. Just tidy all sorts of things like that up. So that's going to be my mission for the next while. So I'll start writing myself a list of bits and pieces I need to do. You know, and also like I'll show you. There's one of these trims that's freaking ugly as shit. I can't remember if this is the back one or front one, but look, you know, this is what they did to the chrome on this car when they painted it so many colours. Like, I'm going to have to try and reuse this, but I'm going to clean it up and see what I can do. If I can clean it up and save it, and I will. Otherwise I'll just have to do my best and paint it. Yeah, like there's all those sorts of things. I'm going to start making lists so I don't forget stuff, so to go through it. Anyway, I'll stop crapping on and I'll start making my list. Alrighty guys, cheers. Alrighty, so I wrote myself a bit of a list. This is mainly just stuff I need to do on the body. Just any dents and and bits and pieces I want to fix. I haven't even probably written everything down. Like I haven't even done one for the bonnet yet, but I've done like all the guards and the doors and around the firewall and just little bits and pieces, all the little dints and bits and pieces, and I've gone around circled them with pen and put a number on the stuff that I want to fix. I haven't really done anything on the boot lid, but I've written what I want to do. So I'll just sort of show you on this front guard fender. So I want to fix this here, like it's all sort of damaged. Got another little repair to do here, knock this dint out, and weld all the trim holes up on here. And I got this little dent in the front that I'll gonna try and pull out, but I might do that one on the car. But I'll set to now, and I'll probably knock these dents out first, and then I'll weld those trim holes up on this and get this guard sort of tidied up, and then on the inside I've got to flip it over and clean all the scaly crap out from underneath. I'll just see if I can turn this over and show you. But so I got to get in here and clean all this crap up. Like it's solid, but it's, you know, it's all the scaly rust and stuff that you just want to get rid of and neutralise and tidy up. So eventually I'll get in there and clean it up with the wire wheel and the grinder and whatever else I can use to get in there. Anyway, so I'll get banging on this and then knock the worst of this out and try and straighten these bits out the best I can. Make them look halfway decent anyway, before we get into a bit of, you know, a light skim of filler probably in just the little damage areas, and then, you know, we have several coats of primer when we get into that part. But yeah, I'll just get these dints knocked out and weld these holes up, and that one pretty much cleaned up for any repairs. And then I'll have once I've sort of gone around and done everything that I've got on my list, I'll probably go around them all again and just double check to see if there's anything else I've missed. And as I'm going, I'll probably double check to see if there's anything missed, see if there's any splits in any of the seams, and, you know, any cracks anywhere or anything stupid like that, and sort of repair them as I'm going, like that door frame and all that sort of stuff. So we'll get into the stuff and we'll carry on. Cheers. Alright, how you going, guys? So I'm just working on this front guard, and I've just, well, almost nothing left in that now, but I've knocked, there was a sort of big crease in here, and it was all sort of crunched and twisted in here, and it wasn't horrendous, but I've basically knocked all that out. There's still a mark in here, but I can't get in from behind because of the bracing, but it's not really that bad. Like a wee skim of filler there, right at the bottom. You know, I probably could weigh out a couple of nails in there and try and pull it, but for all of this and where it is and right at the bottom and a wee smear, I'm not going to stress. But this is way better now. The shape's heaps better. You know, like that flows. You know, I might work this corner out just a little bit more. But that scarp nice, really nice. Now that I've got my little little right angle die grinder with my little sanding discs and that DA sander, man, that makes it so much easier to see the dint. Holy crap! Basically, I cleaned up on the inside of the guard with the wire wheels just so I could get in behind for a start off, and I sort of turned it over and I whacked the worst of that corner out and sort of straightened it out the best I could from up out of the way. And I flipped it over and I tacked it with the DA sander and just went over it to sort of really show where all the creases and everything were. And then I just went around with the dollied and dollied it out. And then I went over with my little die grinder, gave it a quick run over, DA sanded it again, gave it a blow off, and then just dollied it out again. And it's just a wee bit low here still, just a funny little spot here, but it's more sort of right in that corner of the guard where it's sort of been damaged in a bit. But yeah, no, that's come out really good. Like, probably just in these just a wee bit more work there. It's just a little bit flat still. But wow, man, that works good. I wish I knew a lot of this stuff years ago. It's amazing how easy you can get a dint out like that. Like, that's not dead perfect, like you probably couldn't quite blow, well, you probably just could blow primer over that and block it down and blow another couple of coats over, but like a little bit more work, and I'm talking a real fine skimmer fuller, and you'll never see any of it. I'll give that another wee work over, because I can just see that's just a little bit flat there. Yeah, and I'll bring these edges up and see if I can lift that a bit more. And then I just spotted another little dent up here that I should be able to get in behind, I think. I'll just check. Alright, get my hand out of the bloody strap. Camera. Yeah, I can get in behind that one. I'll just give that a little bit of work, and then I'll go around and I'll fix that other one on that part of the guard, and then we might clean these up and weld these holes up. And I'll just, as I'm going, I'll just check, because I think I spotted another one just on the that bottom edge of that, and that ridge that goes round. So it's just a little flat little dent in that. I might just give that a little tickle up. It's not bad, but I just see there's a little kink in it. So yeah, we'll keep working these out and see if we can really massage this thing back into shape the best I can over this next week or two, or especially next week. That's my main plan, is to try and get this all sorted out. And yeah, and I'll try and I'll try and get into that boot floor before the end of sort of next Saturday, Sunday. I'll try and get into that before the end of the week, that boot floor, and sort of start ripping that out. But I want to get as much of this bodywork I can, especially when I've got some room with this. Unfortunately, the weather's been good, but I don't know how long it's going to last. Righty guys, I'll catch you later. Cheers. Alright, bit of an update on this guard. So, where are we at? So I've fixed this. It's not dead perfect, but it's pretty good. It's got a little mark on here still, but it's a bit of a shit to get into, and to get the right shaped dolly, get into there. But hey, like again, it's going to be very, very minor filler now. I've welded all these body trim holes up, and I'm just about to, if you can see that, what's it in here? God, bloody light's in the wrong place, isn't it? Just about to weld a circle in there. Now I just cut that out of a piece of steel with my hole saw, so it's got a hole in the centre, plus it's a little bit smaller, so by the time I weld that in and grind that flat, you'll never ever know. And I'll just put a little bit of shape in it, so hopefully, it's bloody, that light's just not quite in the right place now, is it, with that sun getting down low. So yeah, you can sort of see that, kinda. That's better, but yeah, not really. So yeah, I've got that ready to weld in there, and I tried to. This here is a bit sort of bulged around that dent, so yeah, I'm going to try and see if I can work a bit more. I don't know, it's a bit of a prick because I can't get into here to put anything in behind it. So let's see if I can sort of just flatten this off, because it's sort of high through here. So it's sort of been pushed back, and it's sort of bowed it up, if you know what I mean. Sort of bowed it up through there. But yeah, I'll give that a wee work on. And I did a little bit of work on here. I've got it out a little bit better. So yeah, like, it's not going to take much now. Apart from that little bit of work there, and weld that up. and a clean up. I've had a reasonable clean up on the inside. I've still got a bit more work to do on there yet, and clean up around the wheel arch, and that's almost, like, by the end of the day this guard's going to be ready for like a skim here and there where it needs it, and I don't know, probably bang 4 or 5 coats of high build on it and let it cure and then block it back and see where we go from there, I reckon. Like, especially if I can get that just to sit where I want to feel it, my hand. So I'll get into this, get that done, and yeah, I'll just come around here and I'll sort of see if you can see that. That's come up pretty good. Like, that was even sort of like pushed down in here before. Well, it's not dead perfect, but it's pretty close. So yeah, like, we're talking, the filler that's going to be across that, it's going to probably just a wee smear across that edge and just a little bit through there just to help. But that guard's going to be so clean. I think you can see that other dent in there now. But like, the rest of that is just wicked. Like, that's so good now. I spent another probably only spent another 10 or 15 minutes on that and just worked it and got that so I wasn't feeling that sort of semi-flat spot in there. That's about the only piece I can't get into without taking all that brace out on the inside, and it's not really worth spending hours to try and pick that brace out to get into there to knock that out. Like, if it was really smashed in or something, like, oh yeah, I would, but for all that is, the rest of that's looking really good. By the time I've finished all this, and I'll go around and I'll DA sand it all, and I probably won't DA sand it all, but I'll do that before I go to put anything else on it and clean it right up, and then I'll move to the next one. So yeah, I'm wrapped. That's coming up really mint, that guard now. Like, that's going to be sweet, real sweet. Right, I'll get this welded up, and I'll clean that up, and I'll let you see, give you a quick shot of that as well. Alright guys, cheers. Alrighty, guard up tight today again. So I've filled that hole, and I've just done a few more welds in there just before, but I've sandblasted. I went round with a little die grinder, and then I went around with the wire wheel on the angle grinder, and then I've blew it all out, and I've just gone over with the sandblaster as well and blew in all the holes, like all the media blaster, whatever you want to call it. And now I've just put a light coat of that rust neutralizer on it, and I've run it down in there as best I could and sort of sprayed a bit extra in there to let it run round. Like, you can only do what you can do, and I've poured it up in there, but yeah, hopefully now the inside of that guard should be pretty good. There's a lot I went over all that and it didn't come off, so I got rid of all the worst, the flaky stuff, and got rid of the bulk of it, and so now once that's cured, I'll give it a light coat of a couple of coats of primer in here, and then it'll get I'll put anti-stone chip coating in here, and I'll give that a good couple of layers as well, and then we'll put a top coat over top of it. I don't know, just a semi-gloss black or something, just to seal it all up. So that should be good now. Basically, I don't think there's anything else much to do to it. If it is, it's only minor stuff. I'll just turn it back over. Sorry about the shaking. See, I've got that. Just let it focus. So yeah, I've just got to clean that off really well at a couple of spots, and then I'll give it another light dolly just to get the shape a little bit better. But the rest is good. She's basically ready to go. Just prep for paint, and that's about it. Oh, the only other thing I've noticed too is there's a bit of a low spot in here where I reckon something's hit across the top of the guard, but it's a real shit spot. I can't get in there to push it up. So the only other thing I can think of is, again, once I bolt it back on the car, I may just weld some nails in here and see if I can get that to lift a little bit, and then dress it up, and just have to put a wee smear filler through there. One of those shitty spots because it's all sort of like double skinned and strengthened in here. There's not much I can do about it. I'll do the best I can once I come into final, once I've got it in the car. And again, the same with that, I'll weld a couple of nails in here and see if I can get it to rip out, and see if I can get a bit better shape in there once I've sort of pulled that, and that'll might help to relieve a little bit of pressure off there. But we're basically ready. So that's good. That's basically one done, all ready to go for, you know, as much as I can. So I'll get it bolted back on the car and all set up, and so I'll probably start on that. Might probably go to that other front guard now once I've had a sweep up in here with all the grit, and have a clean up and recycle that again. But yeah, we're all done there. Alright, I'll catch you later on, and yeah.